I have been doing art that expressed my feelings about 9/11 from the very beginning when I was staying in the hotel, and to this day it's still being expressed through my art. And some of it's happy and some of it's very autobiographical. This is a piece that I did for the 7th anniversary, and you definitely can see that I'm feeling better, but because it has a nicer feel to it. But one of the things that I had to go through in my post-traumatic stress was being detached. I always felt that I was just far away, that my body was here, but my mind was someplace else. So a lot of that's reflected in my pieces. And this is one piece where things are just floating away, far away from me, just floating in air. I also deal with a lot of issues concerning personal isolation and pain. This piece is about pain. I think when I originally, after 9/11, even being covered with dust, I didn't take a shower until Friday morning because I thought it was going to be too painful to have the water from the shower hitting me. The water hitting me was just going to be too painful to me. I was so raw. I feel like it was like being hit by lightning. And so I wouldn't take a shower. This piece is sort of like just refers to that, just having it. I might as well have been wrapped in barbed wire. This is really how, and I call this piece, Please Do Not Touch. And I really didn't want anything touching me, not even the water from the shower. This is a piece that is in progress. This has to do with the struggles at ground zero. And these are so far I have this much done. These are the spikes that are the building spikes and the poor people underneath it. This one isn't complete, but this really addresses the destruction of the building. I think this is kind of how I was feeling inside a lot, just really twisted and pain, a lot of twisted pain. I really suffered a lot. But this is another example of how I, in my art, have things that are just flying through the sky. And this piece addresses the fireball that was just part of the explosion. But also, once again, you have the body here. You have something just floating out in space. And as I said, it has a lot to do with the detachment that I experienced. Oh, this one is another one of just an abstraction. All of my pieces are just abstractions. I think from all the debris at ground zero, all the spikes, the building the building falling down. Anyway, this is very abstracted, but this is still, in my mind, is dealing with all the debris at ground zero. This one is, I've been involved in the art community my whole adult life, and I'm an art collector, and but this is a piece that I modeled for. This is by artist Richard Bauer. It's a body cast, and they put the moulage. I went in for a sitting to do this portrait. He put moulage all over my face. I had to sit like this for maybe a half an hour on the table, being completely covered with this. It's like a hot wax they put on you, which later it hardens into like a rubber cast. So ultimately, when it hardens, he's able to pull off the rubber and then later put the plaster inside the rubber. But in order to have that set up, you have to sit like this for about a half an hour. I'm sitting up on a table, and here I am years ago, and here I am now. Towers and burning towers and smoke coming out of towers seems to be a reoccurring theme after all these years. This is just, as I say, another abstraction of some of the images that are literally imprinted in me. They've like been penetrated into me, the images of 9/11. And this is a smoking tower. And all along with many of these, I'm having to, it's an attempt to take the horror and turn it into beauty as a way of digesting it. And so my pieces a lot are, they're beautiful at the same time. They're really depicting memories of very painful things. And I guess I find comfort in the beauty. So through all of this, I've been very comforted with the beauty. This is not a piece that I did, but this is a very meaningful piece to me because it was done by an artist who lived 4 blocks from me on September 11th, Joe DiStefano. And this, he brought this over for an event I had at the 7th anniversary called Gather in Song. And it was really one of the first times that I was able to touch on the happiness, how I felt about the Twin Towers. It's called 9/10, and it refers to the day before 9/11. And the towers were just so magnificent that this was a view out my window. And the first time I saw this painting, it only evoked happy memories. And that's why I'm happy that I can look at this now and still treasure those memories and, you know, look far enough back to the happy times. And this is like this piece has to do with the moment of impact. Just, you know, and I have a lot of flames. This is the burning buildings once again. I use a lot of red in my work, and just all that burning. This is having to do with the rawness of my emotion. My nerves were so fried that when I try to explain to people how I was really feeling inside, and this addresses the sadness and just the pain was kind of just radiating out of me, just radiating. And it's kind of like, it's black, and it's about sadness and about grief, but it's still beautiful. This was an interesting piece. It's called a war rug, and there actually is a history of them. They've been made throughout the years. This particular piece is made in Afghanistan, and it's made for the tourist trade, for selling to tourists that come to Afghanistan. It was made in 2002, and it shows the 2 towers. This is a rug then the terrorists were in America, the second airplane, missiles, the first impact, the burning towers, the war that's going to be, you know, on the horizon, and what that means, bombers, aircraft carriers, missiles, and also a dove, a peace dove. I'm happy that that I have the piece I have includes a dove. Like, there's always hope for peace in the middle of all of this. But it was just so interesting that this is like a tourist item, and so I'm honored to have this in my collection. I have quite a collection of 9/11 objects, actually. This is one of them.